Hi, it's Josh Royko with MyHobokenHome.com and Elite Realtors of New Jersey. Welcome to the March 2018 Hoboken Condo Market Update. You can see downtown Jersey City is listed in the title here. I'm going to cover that via a separate video blog because there is some interesting supply and demand dynamic shifts happening. It is moving from what was a seller's market to a buyer's market in downtown Jersey City. Not so much in Hoboken. Hoboken continues to be pretty strong and well within the seller's market category. All right, so going to mix it up a little bit this month. Just at a high level, you can see average price sold nearly $900,000. So a really strong number. Tempered somewhat by the average size of the Hoboken condo sold in March 2018 at 1,225 square foot. Appears to be also right around a record high as well. So we'll get into the sales statistics here shortly, but going to mix it up this month a little bit and go down to supply and demand dynamics because I think that's probably what's most interesting in terms of what's going on right now, where we're seeing some changes year over year. More so with Jersey City. Similar story with the supply side, but demand remains strong in Hoboken as well. So here we can see as of March 29th, I do the supply analysis by a weekly update. So it's right around what March ended at, but 182 active condos. This compares to 112 in March of 2017 and 153 in March of 2016. So supply is up significantly from last year, well over 50% increase in supply. The deposits accepted by owners statistic, these are the properties that had an accepted offer and made it through attorney review. Down slightly from March 2017, 92 of them. So really interesting there in terms of the demand dynamic because 103 deposits accepted by owner occurred while there were 112 active listings in March. So only about half are being absorbed, 92 out of 182. Still much stronger than what we're seeing in Jersey City. As far as condos sold, similar to 2016, but down just under 10% in terms of condos sold in Hoboken in March, but up significantly from the 44 that we saw sell in February. So the market demand, appears to be picking up here. If we look at a deposit accepted by owner basis, big increase from 52 to 92 from February to March. So the demand for Hoboken condos is still there. All right, so let's talk about the condo sales statistics for March. As you know from reading previous blogs or watching previous video blogs, I'm a big fan of looking at things on a price per square foot basis because it helps us normalize the data and not make assumptions based off just a shift in the type of properties that are selling by size. So let's go ahead and look at price per square foot and further normalize by looking at the medians. This would be your typical Hoboken property. As you'll recall from previous video blogs, we talked about this flattening over the past 10 to 12 months and a slight 3 to 4% pullback. Looks like March bucked that trend just a little bit. You can see the $726 per foot on a median basis is 2 or 3% above the 3 and 6 month rolling averages. So an encouraging sign that some of the slight pullback that we were seeing could have just been seasonal, and we're seeing encouraging signs in Hoboken on a price per square foot basis. So good news there. Let's go ahead and do the breakdown for 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms. I typically don't cover studios or 4 bedrooms or above because the volume is so low in Hoboken that it really doesn't warrant covering individually. If you're interested in that, you can always look on the market analytics section of our site, or I would be happy to tailor an analysis to your needs. If you're interested in that, just shoot me an email, josh@myhobokenhome.com. All right, so let's jump into 1 bedrooms. Okay, 1 bedrooms. Here we can see average price sold $546,000 or so, $546 asking price. So this negative 0.14%. It's actually meaning that on average, the average percentage was negative. So that means the average property went slightly over the asking price. So it's the averages of the percent discount, not the difference between average price sold and average asking price. So that could be a little bit confusing. But in general, we're seeing one bedrooms are going pretty much at asking price and on average around $750 per foot. All right, so that's overall one bedrooms. We're going to isolate the premium doorman buildings first and then look at excluding them. Premium doorman buildings, again, as a reminder, these are your doorman buildings with a high degree of amenity, often in a highly coveted location, such as a waterfront location with city views. So we're talking about 225 River. We're talking about all the Maxwell Place buildings, Hudson T, 1450 Washington, Garden Street Lofts, those types of places. All right. So interesting here. We're seeing that overall, if you look at the slope of the line, it's been largely flat. Heading back to roughly the summer of 2016. So over the past 2 years, these premium doorman buildings haven't been doing quite as well on a price per square foot basis. In terms of the trend, they still command a significant premium over other types of buildings. I think part of that is we're seeing a lot of new construction, a lot of rehab work. So that type of inventory is hitting the market and really starting to show increase in price per square foot. You're seeing buildings with finishes similar to some of the premium doorman buildings that just aren't the premium doorman buildings. So a little bit of a difference in trend here. So we'll see this is flat. I'm guessing that if I exclude, we're going to see this trend change a little bit. We'll see some flattening, but so we're seeing the trend of the line, strong increase in price per square foot until fall of 2017. Then largely flat. Again, these rolling averages are smoothing out the individual months, but largely flat through here over the past 10 months or so. March being a significant improvement over February, $736 per foot for a median price per square foot. So about 2%, 3% above the 3 and 6 month rolling average figures. So doing pretty well there. All right, let's go ahead and look at 2 bedrooms. Toggle this back to all. So you can see average 2 bedroom going for $862,000, average size 1,174 square feet, around $740, $745 per foot for an average. And this is overall. Again, we have this kind of flattening through here going back to spring of last year. Slight improvement in March compared to regular months, about 1.5% above the 3 and 6 month rolling averages. So encouraging sign for the spring that some of this flattening may have in part been seasonal. All right, so we'll look at premium doorman buildings. And wow, is this flat? Very, very gradual increase in pricing. I mean, we can go all the way back to January of 2016 or so, or even December of 2015. Slight increases. March was actually not a great month for the premium doorman building. 2 bedrooms under $900 per foot, still higher than non-premium doorman buildings, but this is really, really flat. Not seeing the same type of appreciation over the past 2 years that non-premium doorman buildings have seen. So again, when I change this back to excluding the premium doorman buildings, watch the slope of the line change over the past couple of years. Right? This is a steeper appreciation followed by a flattening. And then March was better than February. All right, you see a nice step up from $652 a foot to $681.60 per foot as a median value, above the 3-month rolling average, right around the 6-month rolling average. So largely flat over the past year, but these are really strong numbers over 2015 or 2014. So you've still seen appreciation in the magnitude of more than 20% from 2015. It's just flat from 2017. So seemingly they're settling near the all-time highs. We're not seeing too much of a pullback. March tends to be in line with this time last year. Actually looking like it might be a little bit higher. But in general, looking at the 3 and 6 month rolling averages from later in the spring, right in line. So pretty flat. All right, let's go ahead and go over to 3 bedrooms. And we'll start with all. Okay, 3 bedrooms, a little bit lower volume in general. You'll see some of this newer construction, like 88 Jefferson is in here. It's kind of what I was alluding to earlier by new construction with really high-end finishes that would rival, in some cases, I would say even outpace some of the premium doorman buildings finishes. So we've got average price hovering near 1.4 million. Market north of $1 million, especially north of 1.5, is a little bit soft. We're seeing discounting of a couple of percent. Average price per square foot a little bit lower, $718 per foot. Again, going back to fall of 2016, we're seeing it very much flat over the past 18 months for the 3-bedroom marketplace in Hoboken. All right, looking at the premium doorman buildings, we'll see none sold in March. You can see the last one was February 28th, so I won't spend too much time on that. You can look at the February 2018 market recap for an update on the 3-bedroom premium doorman buildings. All right, so let's exclude them. So we're excluding 3-bedroom premium doorman buildings, and we'll see market pretty flat going back over the past 15 months or so. Maybe a slight increase here. March looks like a pretty good month. $727 or so per foot for a 3-bedroom. Improvement from March of about $34 per foot. So a good strong month in March for 3-bedroom non-premium doorman buildings. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the Hoboken March 2018 condo sales analysis. Again, there's some really interesting stuff going on in the Hoboken market at the moment. Not seeing the profound shift that we're seeing in downtown Jersey City, but we are seeing an increase in supply to look at. You can see that supply now is at what appears to be an all-time high, north of 180 condos on the market. But the good news is we're seeing demand pick up along with supply. Not the case in downtown Jersey City. So I'd encourage you, if you're in the market in downtown Jersey City, to watch the video blog there. Very, very different story going on. Hoboken looks fine to me. I would say given the supply and demand dynamics, I think we're headed for a flat spring. So a little bit of a departure from previous year trends where we were looking at double-digit appreciation over the prior year. But I don't see any major red flags in terms of pricing. I think we're looking at largely flat, with some exceptions for high demand properties that get multiple offers over asking. There is still a really strong demand. If you've been out looking at the open houses, you'll notice lots of traffic. So really, really strong market in Hoboken still, but probably pricing is looking a little bit flat just due to the increase in supply. So thank you very much for watching the March 2018 Hoboken update. Encourage you to read the blog on myhobokenhome.com and check out the downtown Jersey City market update. Again, really interesting stuff going on there due to the revaluation that's changing from a seller's market to a really strong buyer's market. Hoboken still firmly in the seller's market category.